Welcome back, investors. Today we're diving into one of the boldest bets in quantum computing. This tiny company is walking a razor's edge between $1 billion breakthrough and a brutal collapse. It's one of the riskiest yet potentially most explosive stocks in the entire quantum space. We're going to uncover the true story behind its massive $1.25 billion funding wave, expose the insider moves that might signal danger ahead, and reveal the one catalyst that could ignite a run toward that ambitious $26 price target. So strap in, because this QUBT analysis could change how you see the entire quantum sector. Now, first of all, let's dive into the biggest news for QUBT, which is the liquidity. In the face of intense R&D demands, the company has proven it can raise massive amounts of cash, securing its operational runway for years. The company recently closed two massive private placements, a $750 million raise in late October, following a $500 million raise in September. This cash is earmarked for scaling up manufacturing at its new Arizona chip foundry and commercialization efforts. While this funding is essential for a pre-revenue science company, it comes at the cost of dilution for existing shareholders. This is a necessary evil for quantum stocks right now. You're betting that the increased future value of the company will dwarf the short-term dilution hit. Reason number 2, security and foundry. The narrative is shifting from pure research to commercial traction, and QUBT has made some validated wins. The company has secured a purchase order from a top 5 U.S. bank to build a quantum cybersecurity testbed. This domestic commercial win is a crucial validation of their quantum secure solution, a security system compatible with existing telecom infrastructure. The company was also awarded a contract by NIST, or the National Institute of Standards and Technology, to design advanced photonic integrated circuits. The government contracts boost the credibility of the company and signal alignment with national strategic priorities. Now, their new thin-film lithium niobate photonic chip foundry in Arizona is fully operational and is the key to scaling production and revenue in the next 12 to 18 months. Section 3. The red flags and the $26 price target. Now, for the risk of the company, the stock is considered high risk due to the high volatility and two significant internal factors. Well, we've been seeing insider sentiment reported as negative, with significant open market selling from key executives over the last year. While some insider selling is normal for cash management, heavy selling can signal a lack of internal conviction. Now, despite Friday's 11.62% jump on high volume, the stock remains highly volatile, moving in a wide $22 to $25 range. The technical picture is mixed, with long-term moving average still signaling some caution. Although we're seeing caution, the current analyst price target consensus sits around $26, representing a potential 57% upside from the current price. This confirms that if the company can prove execution, the opportunity is massive. So now that we analyze the most recent news on this stock, let's look at the overall technicals and assess whether this stock is a buy or a sell. So now that we are on the daily chart of QUBT, we can see that the stock has been quite volatile over the past couple of trading sessions. We can see now that the stock closed on October 31st at $16.71. But we can be seeing that now we've been trading in a sideways consolidation for quite a while. We can see here ever since the beginning of June, and we haven't been able to break above and see decisive bullish moves towards the upside. Now, I do believe that around this zone here of support, which is around $15.34, around this general area, this is where I believe buyers have been found each and every single time we dip, right? So we gap up, we find resistance at this zone, we come down and we find support, right? We found it here on this day, we found it here, here, and here every single time. Now, although I do have to acknowledge that we are below the 50 MA, which is this line here you see on my chart, the stock found a lot of bullish momentum, a lot of buyers at this zone. If we zoom in here, we see that we had this candle right here, right? So we had this selling prior, and then this candle that closed here on October 31st closed higher than this candle. So pretty much what I'm trying to say here is that we have some type of, downward move, right? Just like this, a candle that's going down, and then let's say it's like this. So, and then we have another candle on the next day that closes higher. This break of the resistance here proves to us that it is the time to buy the stock. And this is exactly what happened at this important confluence zone. Now you may be asking yourself, what is this yellow line on your chart? Well, simply if we zoom out, This is the anchored VWAP from the prior area of resistance or the swing high, which was around here at around, the general area here that was formed on December of 2024 and is the general zone where we've been finding, this, resistance around these zones here. So I believe that, once we break above a level, we generally come back and test it as an area of support, especially here. The buyers are really interested in this name, and something that adds more confidence to the position would be here that the RSI has now seeming to, be bottoming out, right? So we're seeing that, we bottomed out for a couple of days, and then around this general zone, now we see a spike here. So if I just zoom here in on the RSI, we see the following. So, we saw this nice spike towards upside, and it crossed above this overall EMA here, this yellow line here on the RSI, signaling an overall trend shift. If you look back here on the prior areas and the prior sessions that we were trading, when we reached around this low here on market, around this low of around 38 on the RSI, well, this every time we found, the higher bid. So generally around this zone when, the price level and the overall RSI reach those levels, and that is generally where we, tend to buy the stock and find some overall buyers. Now, on the overall case here, if the stock does not, hold this level of support around this 15 zone, I do believe that the next areas of support when the stock can be bought is going to be here at around $10.93. So I'll put that as green as signifying the buyers. And the next level will be the most recent higher low, which would be around the zone of $8.69. Obviously, if the stock does dip, we do expect, some high liquidity around this zone, maybe some catching some people off guard and then form that higher low that will initiate the upward momentum right back towards the overall upside here on this name. Now, if we do, keep seeing the momentum towards upside, I do have my price targets on this stock to be first initial at $41 and 2 cents around this general zone, and my second price target would be here at $63.95. This would obviously be triggering an overall return of around 290% here on the position. I do believe that the stock has this momentum. We have been seeing Rigetti, the majority of these quantum names just shoot up, enormously, and they pull back to important levels that we can trade these names, right? Obviously, the fundamentals are maybe not yet there for the longer term hold, but for this overall shorter term trend, like a swing trade of around 3 to 6 months, they can be quite profitable and, make a lot of money if you know when to time the positions exactly at their point. Also, if we look here with our customized algo that we see, it signaled to us that it was a buy at around the 12th of June. And generally, when we dip below, so we have this algo that signaled that the buy was on here, the 12th of June, at a price of around $17.54. When we are below it, we tend to find the bid. So, people that bought are buying more at a discount. So they're accumulating, a lot of shares at these, lower prices right here at these zones. That's what we, dip down and find that upper momentum. So I believe that now this is why we'll be seeing a bounce over the next coming sessions, especially the next weeks. I believe that over the next couple of 2 to 3 weeks, we may see quantum computing here, this company at around $25 and a little bit over time for that swing trade at towards my final price targets of $41 and $63.95 here on quantum computing. Now, all eyes are on November 14th. That earnings call could be the most important moment for Qubit, which can finally prove itself. But a genuine quantum breakthrough could deliver that 57% upside, or simply it could expose the cracks beneath the surface. What do you think? Is Qubit gearing up for a liftoff or about to quantum crash? Drop your take in the comment sections below. I read every single one of them. If you want to stay ahead of these high stakes before the market opens, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss my next deep dive.